Good morning, children. Today I will explain you chapter 1 of class 7th science, nutrition in plants. Before starting the chapter, first of all, I want to discuss few questions of class 6th science chapter 1. First, we will revise few things. So, now as you all have studied in chapter 1 science class 6th and the title of the chapter was food, where does it come from? Now, in that chapter, you have already studied about food and components of food. Now, my first question is, from where does we get food? Yes, I know that you all know the answer. We get food from plants as well as animals. Now, my second question is, why do we need food? Yes. Why do we need food? Yes. Answer of this question is, we need food to get energy. Or you can say that we need food to grow and develop. Or you can say food is necessary for growth and maintenance of our body. Now, you have also studied about different components of food in class 6th. So, what are these components of food? Actually, some substances like carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, they are found in the food, and these are called components of food. Okay, children? Now, as the title of the chapter 1 of class 7th science is nutrition in plants. So, first of all, we should know about nutrients and nutrition. So, what are nutrients, children? Components of food which are necessary for our body are called nutrients, or we can say that nutrients are those substances which are essential for growth and maintenance of our body. Clear? Now, coming to the next point, what is nutrition? So, nutrients are substances and nutrition is a process. So, you can say nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. I have already underlined. So, what is nutrition? Again, see. Nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. So, now let us discuss the chapter in detail. So, the subheading of this chapter will be modes of nutrition in plants. Now, modes of nutrition in plants. There are two modes of nutrition in plants, or you can say two modes of nutrition in organisms. So, first, the mode of nutrition in which organisms take food themselves from simple substances, or you can say the mode of nutrition in which organisms or plants make food themselves from simple substances is called autotrophic mode of nutrition. So, let us discuss in detail about autotrophic mode of nutrition. Autotrophic mode of nutrition is first mode of nutrition. The word autotrophic, it is made up of two words, auto and Meaning of auto is self and meaning of trophos is nourishment. So, in this mode of nutrition, living organisms prepare their own food. That's why it is called autotrophic mode of nutrition. And those organisms which prefer this kind of mode of nutrition are called autotrophs. So, now you can easily give the answer of autotrophs. So, my question is, give one example of autotrophs. Yes, you can say plants. Why? Because plants prepare their own food. That's why plants are autotrophs. Now, coming to the next mode of nutrition. Next mode of nutrition is heterotrophic mode of nutrition. In this mode of nutrition, organisms do not prepare their own food, but they take in ready-made food prepared by the plants or other organisms. So that this kind of mode of nutrition is called heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Here again, this heterotroph word is made up of two words. Heteros means other and trophos means nourishment. So, nourishment from others. So, here we have discussed autotrophic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So, now you can give example of heterotrophic mode of nutrition or heterotrophs. Yes, human beings are heterotrophs because we depend on our food on plants. Okay, so we are heterotrophs. Now, I think so you all understood about the mode of nutrition, nutrients and nutrition. Now, coming to the next part of the chapter. As earlier I discussed that plants are autotrophs. Now, my question is, why do we consider plants as autotrophs? Yes, plants are autotrophs because they prepare their own food, and they prepare their own food by a unique process, and name of the process is photosynthesis. So, let us discuss about photosynthesis, food making process in plants. Okay. Photosynthesis is a word, and meaning of photo means light and synthesis means preparation or formation or making. So, photosynthesis is a process of making food by the plants. Now, leaves are the food factories of plants. Factories, what is the main function of factories? Actually, production or manufacturing takes place in the factories, or factories are the site of manufacturing or production. So, leaves are the food factories of plants. It means that photosynthesis takes place in the leaves only, or making of food, process of making of food takes place in the leaves. That's why leaves are the food factories of plants. Okay. So, the synthesis of food in plants occurs in leaves. Children, you have already studied the different parts of the plant in junior classes also, in primary also, in class 6 also. I think so in class 6 there is one chapter, getting to know the plants. In that chapter you have studied about the different parts of the plant, and they are root, stem, leaves, bud, flowers and fruits. So, let us see the process of photosynthesis in detail. Okay. Now, through one picture first I want to explain the process of photosynthesis. Okay. Now, you can see this picture, children. In this picture, you can see sun is there, a plant is there, light energy, carbon dioxide, oxygen, chlorophyll in leaves and water and minerals. So actually this is the schematic diagram showing photosynthesis. In this figure, it is clearly mentioned that this light energy is absorbed by the plants. Which part of the plant? Leaves. So that leaves are absorbing this light energy, it means that leaves are absorbing the solar energy. Now, one more point is shown here, carbon dioxide, and it seems that leaves are taking carbon dioxide. Now, my question is, how does leaves get carbon dioxide from the atmosphere? Yes, to know the answer of this question, I want to tell you that actually there are some tiny pores present on the surface of leaves. These tiny pores present on the surface of the leaves are called stomata. These stomata are pores, and these pores are surrounded by or guarded by special type of cells which are called guard cells. So, again coming to the pictorial presentation of photosynthesis. So, now you understood that plants absorbs these carbon dioxide through the stomata or small tiny pores present on the surface of leaves. And chlorophyll is a green colored pigment. Chlorophyll is a green colored pigment which is found in leaves. So, green pigment found in leaves is called chlorophyll, and it helps leaves to capture the energy of the sunlight. So, chlorophyll captures the solar energy, and this solar energy is used to synthesize or prepare food from carbon dioxide and water. Since the synthesis of food occurs in the presence of sunlight, so the process is called photosynthesis. Again, when we will break this word into two, it is made up of photos and synthesis. Here, photo means light and synthesis means to combine or to prepare. So, simply we can say that plants prepare their own food by a unique process which is called photosynthesis. Is it clear to you all? Yes. So, we find that chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water are necessary to carry out the process of photosynthesis. So, in simpler words, we can say that these are the raw materials for photosynthesis. Now, my question is, what are the raw materials required for photosynthesis? So, now answer will be, raw materials for photosynthesis are chlorophyll, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water. Is it clear to you all? Now, the solar energy is captured by the leaves and stored in the plants in the form of food. Thus, sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. Now, you can frame your own question here, that what is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms? So, the answer will be, the sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. Why? Because the solar energy is captured by the leaves and stored in the plant in the form of food. So, that what is the, from where does we get the energy? We got the energy from the sun. That's why solar energy is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. Children, here you can see in the blue colored box, details are given about cells. So, I want to explain you that what are cells. Just now I explained about tiny pores present on the leaves, they are stomata. Now, before explaining details about the stomata, I want to discuss about cells. So, what are cells? Children, you all know that buildings are made up of bricks. So bricks are the small units of buildings. We can say that, na? Bricks are the small unit of buildings. So like that only in our body, or you can say the bodies of living organisms are also made up of tiny units, and these tiny units are called cells. Cells, we can't see cells from our naked eyes, and cells can be seen only under the microscope. Now, I know that you all are thinking that what is microscope? Na? So, you haven't heard about microscope? Okay, let us wait. I am telling. Microscope is an instrument which is used to see small things or tiny objects. Okay. Now, you can see cell only under the microscope. This is the structure of cell. In this you can see that nucleus is there. A small dot is present, that is called nucleus, and you can see very small dotted structure around the nucleus, and this is called cytoplasm. And you can see a structure or boundary around the cell. It is called cell membrane. Okay, cell bounds. It is called cell membrane. So in the cells you can see that there is a boundary which is called cell membrane. Okay, and a spherical structure which is located centrally, and it is called nucleus, and that nucleus is surrounded by jelly like substance called cytoplasm. Is it clear to you all? Now again let us discuss the structure of stomata. As I explained you about stomata, but we haven't discussed the structure of stomata. Children, just you can see here figure C 1.2c. In this you can see that there is a pore or opening. That opening is called stomatal opening, and this stomatal opening is guarded by or surrounded by special type of cells. These cells are called guard cells, as they guard the opening and closing of the stomatal pore. So you can say that opening and closing of the stomatal pores is guarded by guard cells. Okay, guard cells only are responsible for closing these stomata and opening these stomata. Now in figure A you can see the simple leaf, and in figure B you can see the detailed structure or section through a leaf. When we will cut the leaf to see the different structures shown here. In this you can see there are two layers or two boundaries you can see. One is upper, one is lower. So the upper boundary is called upper epidermis of the leaf, and lower boundary is called lower epidermis. And you can see in the lower side special type of pores. You can see these pores are stomata, and these pores are surrounded by cells which are called guard cells, and in the upper part of this section of leaf you can see some chlorophyll. So this was the detailed section of leaf, but it is not required for you now. You will study it in senior classes. Now coming to the photosynthesis again. Now we have discussed the structure of leaf, structure of stomata, pictorial presentation of photosynthesis. Now the last thing about the photosynthesis. This process can be shown or represented as an equation also. As I already explained you, it is a biochemical process. It means that it involves certain chemicals also. So carbon dioxide is also a chemical, water is also a chemical. So that this process can be represented by an equation also. In that you can say that carbon dioxide plus water combines and they forms carbohydrate plus oxygen. in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So you can see it is an equation for photosynthesis. In this, carbon dioxide plus water combines in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, and they forms carbohydrates and oxygen. Is it clear to you all? So this is about photosynthesis. Clear, children? Now, remaining portion of this chapter we will study in next class. So, have a good day, children, and enjoy this lesson. Thank you.